Good morning.
Morning, Lucy. How are you?
I'm good, thank you, thank you.
How's it going? How's it going?
Not too bad. I'm doing the Marty Miller 4 challenge,
Yep.
and I'm re-going until I
Yep.
get it. So I was subscribed to him,
Good.
and I'm on day 3, and I've succeeded till there, and
Right on.
I will finish till day wherever we're at. I don't.
This version of Marty Miller is a bit of a fast class. It is. It kind of supposes that you've been through version 1 and version 2. Well, he's been through it a bunch of times, so he gets to go in a pretty quick pace. And it's like, okay, hit my space bar, pause the video, because I need to figure out what he just said. So.
But I'm trickering, and I got some of your videos that are linked of you, and
Yep.
I'm gonna continue.
Yep. Well, you've got the drive. So if you need some one-on-one, let me know. We can get some of the stuff spun up so you feel like you're on a level playing field with a lot. So, hey, there's our wizard.
Thank you.
I see Latasha.
Hey, Robert.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Surfing.
Hopefully, I don't pass out in this outfit.
I know, right?
Just send somebody to Kihei if I pass out.
You're only right. You're in my neighborhood, right? I
Yeah.
need to say hi.
So we'll wait a few more minutes. We got some people joining.
Yay! Oh, there's 7. I see 7 people. How's your day going?
It's going good. I need to talk to you. So after this, can you call me?
Absolutely. Yeah.
There's a couple of things I need to go over with you.
Okay.
So I'm going to start trying to add some of these names that are new. So keep talking, Robert. I just need to do a couple of things.
All right. Lucy, we talked the other day at that other class, and I would reach out to you, but I'm going to let you reach out to me, and I'm ready to help you whenever you get stuck and can't proceed. Just give me a buzz and we'll run you through some of the stuff.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I have, on this Loom video, I can actually take remote control of your PC, and you can sit there, eat a sandwich, and have a glass of water, and just watch me work. So that's kind of fun, because then you can just sit back, relax, and go, okay, now I see how it's happening. So
Thank you.
we can do that.
Latasha has been helping me too. I'm getting there. This soul was very foreigner to me.
Yeah. I don't know your backstory. You've been selling for a while, probably years, yeah?
Yeah, I'm part-time. I'm mainly hotel business.
Okay.
So now I'm getting in that platform. Yeah.
Good.
Welcome, everybody. So I think we're going to get started. I'm trying to see who all is on the call to make sure, because I have something other than my costume, which I hope I don't fall out. I have a little game to play. So I just want to make sure I have everybody's name in there correctly. Okay. Can everyone hear me? Awesome. So let me share my screen. And what do I want to do?
Got it.
Can you all see that?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So let me go to slide, start from the beginning. All right. So today you're going to get 2 for 1. So you're going to get myself, and then you're also going to get the fabulous Robert. So I will be taking our first 30, and he will do the second 30, and we'll have a Q&A as well. So we're going to get going. So thank you so much for those who have participated. I do have my wizard outfit on as well as you can't really see it because it's not dark, but it is a glow in the dark wand. It doesn't really work because I try to wave it over my husband, but it doesn't do anything. So just a little humor. All right, so again, the first 30, we're gonna take a recap. We're gonna do, my wand's going off. I need to turn it off, sorry. So reminder about the KWRM social media post, and also the marketing style guidelines from Michelle. We're going to take, actually, Mitch Tempo had partnered, or him and Robert had partnered on a listing. So we're actually going to take a look at that listing, and we're going to create at least 3 posts. So I'm gonna share with you the thinking process behind that, as well as the written post. And as usual, I will also be emailing you this presentation so you can have it. So we'll talk a little bit about that. And then I want to tackle Facebook templates in Command, just to give you another tutorial and just remind you of where to edit and or create your own Facebook covers. So that is what we're going to accomplish in the first 30. So Wheel of Games, or Wheel of Names, are you ready? You're ready for this one? So, all right. So I'm going to minimize this for a minute. I'm not sure. Let me know if you don't see my screen. Can you see that? Okay, so this is the Wheel of Games. And so all of the names, the people that have signed up.
No, that's not what we have. We just have click to add title.
Okay, hold on. Yeah. Let me do, here's my Wheel of Games. Now do you see it?
Yes, now we see it.
Yes. All right. So hopefully you see your name. I went through quickly to make sure I had everyone. This is just a quick little game that we're going to give away an e-gift certificate. So are you ready?
Yes.
Ready.
Okay, let's see who wins.
Spin a win, spin a win. Pick me, pick me, pick me.
Eva!
Eva!
You won!
Oh, Jim.
Jim!
It says Jim, but it's Eva. Oh, wait a minute.
Close.
I guess it was
That's really
Jim,
cool.
but let's do it one more time, just for fun. I said Eva, but I guess it wasn't done. I have to wait till it's done. I know Patty's not here, so let's do it again.
Hey, 3rd time's the charm.
Maybe not.
Pick me. Jim again.
Oh, we're gonna go with Eva. How about that?
Yeah.
Woo! Yes.
So I'll get with you, Eva, about getting your e-gift card. So thank
It's
you.
too close too many times. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So let me share my original screen and we'll get down to business. And I don't think you can see that, can you? Here we go. There you go. Can you guys see that?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so we did that lucky winner, which was Eva.
Yay.
Question, as always, we do, what do you want to get out of the workshop? So I'm going to keep going, but if you can make sure that you put in the chat what you want to get out of this. This will help myself and Robert in terms of making sure if we didn't address anything, we want to readdress that with you either within this training and or offline. So if you can take a few minutes just to put in the chat what it is you want to accomplish to make sure that we either cover that now or in the future. So I'm gonna keep going, but if you could do that, that would be so awesome. And then once it's Robert's turn.
I was going to say, I can monitor the chat for you too.
Thank
Natasha.
you, and I'll do it vice versa. Is there anyone that's responded so far, Robert, that had something, typed anything?
Yeah, how to post Facebook ads and how
Okay.
to maximize exposure of Facebook ads.
Okay, all right. So again, just to recap, here are the requirements in terms of the social media marketing guidelines that Michelle worked on. So again, in terms of Facebook posts, you just want to make sure that the DBA Market Center logos is included. Want to make sure that the ownership statement in terms of independently operated is featured. And then being in compliance with the local board commission laws and rules, which just basically means your contact information, who you are, your license number, contact information. So that's just a friendly reminder. All right, so this is Mitch Tempo's listing. So we're gonna get in this. So this is an image that, thank you, Robert, he sent to me. And so what I wanna do is talk about this listing and make it concrete. Basically, we're gonna take this listing, we're gonna create a post, actually 3 different posts. And then from there, we're gonna turn it over to Robert, but there's a couple of other things we wanna talk about as well. So again, this actually is a listing. It's in Kula. And so it is active, and that's the price point, a beautiful view. And take note of that view because we're gonna follow up, we're gonna actually circle back on that in a little bit. So again, the perfect Facebook post, remember we talked about this in part 1, share your value proposition. So what is it that you want to promote in terms of how are you adding value? Why should someone contact you in terms of wanting to sell them real estate? Keep in mind your SEO. We're going to talk about that in a little bit, but SEO is search engine optimization. In terms of whenever you're posting, how are you going to maximize your posts with either emojis, hashtags, and I'm going to talk a little bit about hashtags and emojis in a little bit. In terms of having a call to action, the CTA, what is your call to action? Making sure that all of your posts have some form of call to action, even if it's a soft call to action. You want to make sure that you always have some form of a question in your post. And then make sure that you're capitalizing on including links and or landing pages in your post. Even if your post is 1 to 3 sentences, you can still have a link in there. You can have emojis, you can do all these things. But what you want to do is you just want to make sure you're maximizing it. Then making sure that you're visual. We talked about this last time in terms of making sure that the language creates a mental image to your potential readers. So we're going to also have specific examples about making sure that the language and the word choice that you use creates a visual image. And you can tell the difference in that, and we'll take a look at that shortly. And then obviously, but most importantly, you want to maximize your real estate skills. What are you as the resource? Are you known for something? Are you the short sale woman or whatever you are, in terms of making sure that whatever your skill set is, whatever your wheelhouse is, you want to make sure that you're always constantly referring to that in your posts. So I'm going to stop talking. Are there any questions, follow-up questions about the perfect post before we move on? Okay. All right. So the thinking
Natasha,
yes.
Are you going to be sending out these slides? And did you send out the slides for the first one too?
I did. So
okay.
I will resend it. And then what I'll do is I'll use Riley. I recognize your voice. I will send this out again. And then I'll make sure that all of the previous, basically the one that I originally sent out, I'll send that out and just add to it so you can have it.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so the thinking process for the Facebook post. You want to have your basic listing information, which you already know. You want to have, and so here is my thinking process in terms of you're going to take a look at actual, I guess I shouldn't say actual because we haven't posted, but these are posts that you can take and use and, you know, make it your own. So what I chose to do is I looked at the listing, I looked at the picture, and what I decided to do was to focus on the listing detail of the house in terms of the highlight of the house and or the location. The listing climate. Basically, as all of you know, each island in different parts of each island have different climates. So I wanted to highlight that. And then also each town has something to highlight as well. So I wanted to feature that in the thinking process. So when I looked at that image, looked at the information that Robert sent me, I wanted to be very succinct and I wanted to be very purposeful about how I was going to maximize all of those previous things we talked about in terms of an effective Facebook post. So here is what I came up with, and we're going to dial into these really quickly. All right. So the first one, post number 1, this is just my recommendation. You can take it or leave it. The most effective thing that I have done for my business is maximizing cover pages for Facebook. And I talked about this before. I change mine at least once a quarter, sometimes more than that. And the reason is because I always want to make sure that the followers that I have, that they know I'm constantly engaged. And so making sure that you change your cover based on what's going on. Hey, Kevin. And so that also will create an automatic post. So that's why I want to reinforce that. Make sure that you do that. Or excuse me, I encourage you to do that. You can do it or not. I'm actually going to show you an example. And let me stop sharing this screen. I think I have one pulled up. So bear with me for just a quick moment. All right, and I'm going to reshare it. And hopefully I still have it up. Can you see that or no?
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
Yes, we can see it.
You can see it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So this is my little details just so you understand. So this is the Facebook cover. I just changed this recently because I taught a class or did a class for the event industry last week. So I changed it, and one of them is just really simple in terms of a visual recommendation, a quick call to action, call us today, my number. And so, like I said, I use this, very effectively and have done it for many years now. So that's just an example of what I meant by that. So let's go back to the actual, let's see, where's my PowerPoint? Here we go. Okay. All right, and you're good to go. You can see this. We're back to the original one. Okay, so that's the first one. The second one, so it would be, do you need some bi-coastal views in your life? So an engagement question, engaging your audience, contact me today, 2 sentences. So then you would want to take that image or another image, but I love that image that Robert sent me, and you would want to embed that into your post. And then the thing is, you want to incorporate an appropriate emoji. And Robert can weigh in on this as well, but one of the things that Facebook is doing in terms of ranking your SEO is ranking your effectiveness in terms of integrating emojis. I know people sometimes have an affinity to emojis because you don't think they look, professional, but that is how Facebook is going to rank your postings based on the number of emojis. I'm not saying go crazy. I'm just saying put them in appropriately so that you can be a part of increasing your rankings within SEO. And so then my hashtags, I'm a big hashtag person. So I just put based on the post. And here's the one thing I will say about hashtags. You want to make sure that they're appropriate for the actual post. And you want to make sure you don't go overboard. I try to keep it to 5 to 6 or less, but I always have one hashtag that remains the same no matter what. And so that is my business. So whatever your business name, whatever your Facebook handle is, that's the one that I use. So for example, it's my company, Little Details LLC. I put that on my Instagram, my Twitter, my Facebook. I do it all the time. That's going to be the one standalone hashtag that I always use to refer people back to me. So then for this one, by Coastal View, Maui Life, Home with a View, Kula, Maui Realtor, I would say that would be another one that you would want to always have. referring back to you. So when people, you'll start seeing, we talked about, you know, allowing Instagram to be a search engine for you. If you missed that, please go back to the recording. But when people type in these hashtags, you'll start popping up when they do those searches. So you want to make sure, and then Maui Living. So that's the first post, or excuse me, the second post, which is really simple, 2 sentences, but it's a call to action. It says what you're doing, what you, what you want them to do, who you are, that kind of thing. You can add to this, delete it, but at least gets you in the right ballpark. So post number 3, did you know the average temperature in Kula, Hawaii is 79 degrees and the air quality is 70% below or better than the national average? So you can either have one of those things, all of those things, and it says, I have a typo. Basically, do you want help becoming a resident of Kula or Maui? So then contact me today. So then you would want to check out more facts on Kula. So if you, you can do a Google search. There's several sites where it talks about facts about Kula, Hawaii. You can put that in as a link, incorporate an emoji. And then for that, the hashtags would be Kula, Kula Life, again, Maui Realtor, Maui Living, and then name of your business company. Before I go to 4, any questions about 1, 2, or 3? In terms of the type of posts?
I'm not seeing any.
So the hashtag, can you explain just a little bit about the hashtag? Because it's just the first time that I created that business page. I don't understand where you add them.
Yeah, so the hashtags will be in your actual post. So Robert's going to do an actual post and he's going to show you. So what you want to do is when you go to Facebook and you get ready to post, you would want to say whatever the words are or type whatever your words are. For example, if we're doing post number 2, we would say, do you need some bi-coastal views in your life? ? Then we would type, contact me today. Then you would incorporate either emojis within that or somewhere in the post. And then right after the post, you would want to do hashtag, bi-coastal view. So it would actually be in the post itself. There's a couple of, I do want to take a step back. There are a couple of schools of thoughts in terms of how to do that. So you can do it right after your first sentence, or you can have a space and hit return and then do that in terms of making it more of a prominent call to action or prominent social tagging, if they call it social tagging. Other thing is, for example, I know we're not talking about Instagram, but for Instagram, one of the school of thoughts is to separate it by basically the star symbol. So you would type your sentence, hit your return, and then type or hit the star symbol, and then that feeds into another line. Then you would put your hashtag. And so even if you wanted to separate the titles or the sentences, you could do that as well. Essentially what you want to do is you have to keep in mind that you have roughly 30 to 60 seconds to grab somebody's attention, and you want to make sure you do that effectively. So even if you have a 1 sentence, 2 sentence post, you can have the first sentence, skip a line, second sentence, skip a line, and then your hashtags, just to make sure it stands out and it makes a wow factor. Does that answer your question, Aisha?
Yeah, I think when I see the example, it probably solidified it a little bit. It just
yes, it'll reinforce it. Yes.
Yeah. Thanks.
Anybody else have another question?
Just a comment. What I've seen people do in posts as well is they'll put in their statement, consider changing one of your post phrases, and then they'll hit enter and they'll put a period, and then they'll hit enter and put another period to kind of force the hashtags down so you're actually highlighting the message. Yeah.
So then the last one was in regards to Kula, Hawaii has so much to offer as a resident living in Kula. You can visit the quaint fresh market and vegetable stand. So here's a key thing that you want to do or try to do is you always want to incorporate a location if you can. So specifically here for number 4, we're talking about Kula. However, when you tag another establishment, people that follow that establishment and or location will see your post come up and they will be intrigued, hopefully, and go back and figure out, oh, who is this Ann person? I want to get to know Ann. And so when you're tagging either establishments, restaurants, whatever it is, or locations, when you at them or you tag them, that also adds to your SEO in terms of your rankability within Facebook. And then you still can have your call to action, which says contact me today to help you secure your home in Kula or Maui, incorporate the appropriate emojis, appropriate links, hashtag Kula Life, hashtag Maui Realtor, hashtag Maui Living, and the name of your business, and then Maui Realtor again, but you don't have to have it twice. Any comments or questions? All right. What I want to do before Robert comes on is I want to go and take a look at these posts. Well, actually what I want to do is I want to do one thing. I want to go to the post so you can see that. And then number two, I want to go to command because I want to show you one quick thing. So let me share this screen. I think. Is that the right one? Yeah, I think that's the right one. So when you were talking about a post, so we're not going to post here, but if we were going to write this post, we could start here, we could type, whatever. And then from there, you could do, your hashtag, Maui Life. But again, Robert's going to cover this in terms of more detail and the actual post because he's going to actually post it. So that's what we meant by the posting. And let me get out of here. I want to share one more thing with you before my time is up. So within command, in design, so this is command. We're going to go into designs really quickly. Just want to remind you of where the Facebook covers are. So from designs, you want to go into social. Once you click on social, if you have other socials in terms of posts that you've already made, it'll show up. Don't worry if you don't have one. I do these for the market center, so you may not have this many, so don't worry about it. Then you want to hit the plus sign at the bottom. Social is already highlighted. So next. And it'll take a minute, and sometimes it takes longer, just depends on your internet speed and or if they're doing updates in command. But we should be good to go. Robert's nodding with me.
I'm kind of surprised that nothing's happened during this class because it seems
Don't say that. Don't say that. So then,
I know, right? Yeah.
Business basics, and from business basics, you want to do social branding. And then you have your Twitter covers, your LinkedIn covers, your Facebook covers. And so the one thing that I will say about this, which I've said it before, these are just templates. So you just find which one appeals to you in terms of the overall layout. And then you can manipulate, add, delete, change, whatever you want. So just look at these as templates. Which one do you want your post or your cover to look like? And then you can edit from there. So I'm going to stop talking, see if there are any questions before Robert gets into the meat and potatoes of the actual post to see if there's any follow-up questions. Anything?
This will be a dumb question.
No, it's not.
I like giving out dumb questions.
No.
When you put pound Maui Life, that's just something they can just search? I mean, that's nothing you have to do with that, right?
That's correct. So it's going to do two things. Number one, like I said, it's going to help you on your SEO ranking in terms of pushing you up to the top when people look for a realtor. Second, what it's going to do is when other people are posting and they put the hashtag on there in terms of Maui Life, you and every other post is going to be in that thread. And so that's what I talked about in terms of making sure that you integrate that. So when people are on Instagram, so for example, I always do this. When I'm on Instagram, that's the best way to do it, because what Instagram does is it tells you how many followers that hashtag has. And so I base my hashtags on how many people are using that hashtag, because I want to make sure that I'm maximizing my posts. So if I'm saying, you know, for me, home staging, I'm looking at that. Or if it says design or whatever it is, I'm going back to Instagram using that as a Google search, if you will. Type in my hashtag and it'll tell me 3,000, 5,000, 20,000. It'll tell me whatever. So that's
kind of a way to group yourself with like-minded hashtag people. So you'll come up in that thread, be grouped with them. So you'll get view in that thread. So that's
And
nice.
so you have to have Instagram to do that.
You can do it in Facebook as well. Yeah.
You can do it in Facebook as well, but I just use it for Instagram because Facebook doesn't give, there's a separate way you can get it, but Instagram is instantaneous, because as soon as you type in that hashtag, it'll populate immediately after you're done how many people actually do that. So that's why I use Instagram. I actually use Instagram for my business more than I do Facebook, but that's just because the people that follow me and my clients. But I would use that definitely, at least just so you know how effective it is, because there's a way that you can do it in Facebook, but it's not as user friendly, but you can get to it. It's just not user friendly.
Okay. Thank you.
I have a question. I use hashtags a lot on Instagram. Have never used them on Facebook.
Oh.
Are people using hashtags on Facebook?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
Huh.
Yes.
Okay.
Because it's essentially it's the same company and they're using a very similar algorithm. So yes, please, if you haven't, start using them both on IG and also on Facebook, because that's going to just do wonders for you in terms of pushing you up ranking wise, right, Riley?
Yeah, there's a lot of times that I'll just throw a post out there, and by the time the post is out, I'm like, oh, I forgot the hashtag. And it's like, okay, next time. Or you can go in and edit the post and put hashtags in again. You can put hashtags in after the post. You can do that too.
So I have a
Get the
question,
links.
Robert. For your section, I currently have an ad running, and I was told that we can edit the amount. So I set a budget of $9 per day.
Okay.
And I was told that we could, once we have the ad running, that in command, we could go back and edit that spend, that budget. But when I tried to go into command to edit the budget to decrease it from $9 a day to say $3 a day,
Right.
it didn't allow me to do that. So I'm hoping maybe you can show us how we can,
I can give you the quick answer on that right now. So currently what I do in that situation is I'll pause the ad. I'll stop the ad. The spend is no longer there. I'll duplicate and customize that ad, run it exactly the same way, and drop that spend down. It will charge you again for that ad. Let's say I run it for 10 days for $30. That's $3 a day. And then it would just run, and the other one would be banked, and you would get the credit for that.
Okay, so the advice that I was given from someone who said that they were pretty much an expert in Facebook advertising was that you do 3 ads, all the exact same ad, and then you look at which one's performing the best, stop the other 2, and then you decrease the spend on the one ad, because they said the minute you pause the ad, it messes with the algorithm.
You know, I don't know about that. I'm not sure where you got the information. Was it Boz by chance?
It was from Nicole, and Nicole shared it with me from someone that she knows. So I don't know who, but someone who's apparently an expert in this. I guess they worked at Facebook or something.
Well, here's what I can tell you about Facebook is we have a Facebook person that sits at KWRI in Texas, and they actually change their algorithm almost maybe 2 times a week, or at least weekly. So, you know, that information could have been valid for a period of time, but that may or may not be the way it is now. I don't know. I'd have to check.
Okay, because I did it. I ran the exact same ad three times through command, and I noticed that one was performing better than the other. And
Right.
so I paused the other two. So I stopped those other two, and then I tried to go in and decrease the spend, but I
Right.
can't do that through command. So I was wondering if there's a way to decrease the spend maybe through the back end of Facebook.
As far as I know, there's not, because right now we're using a corporate account with command. And so
Okay.
there's no way to get in there because you'd have to adjust, you'd have to fish through 160,000 ads or something like that.
Okay, so we don't have access to the
Now that
ads
is,
that we place through
true.
command
Yeah, that is
on
true.
our
if you do-
business Facebook.
That is true if you do a Facebook ad out of Facebook.
Right.
Yeah, you can go in and do that, but then you don't get access to the algorithm that we're using inside Keller Williams.
Okay.
So
There is a
could
special algorithm for Keller Williams.
So I'm going to start researching that. So Robert, if you want to go ahead and, because I want to make sure we get to the actual post. So I gave you license to
Okay.
be co-host. So if you want to take over, and then Riley, I'm going to work with Robert on and making sure we get correct answers for you. So I'm working on that. I'll manage the chat, and then Robert, you.
There it is. 387363 is the MLS number for this one. So instead of searching by property, I find it easier to search by MLS number. It tends to, I don't have to worry about it as much. Did I keep going? Uh-oh. Did I copy that correctly? Well, maybe we'll go back and go by address. Let me check my notes real fast. Sorry. 387363. Got too many windows over what I need, so bear with me, guys. Sorry. Go back out. Hit the green plus sign. Social. Move this out of the way. Let's do one of the new designs. And we're going to do a Facebook design. And I like this one. So let's use this one. Just pick one with a frame and a look that you like. I tried this one earlier, but the photo kind of cuts off, and I want to get both those chairs in the background. So this is a little bit wider shot. So here is the copy that we pulled in, right? So what
I
we're going to
wonder where you got that template from.
I don't. I think it's one of Latasha's templates. So KWLS. Latasha, do you remember the address on that? Was it 712 Upper Kula?
I think it was 712 Upper Cooler. Yeah, 712.
Chemo or Kula?
Cooler.
I think it might be Chemo Road.
Well, hold on, let me see. Let me stop guessing.
There it is. I got it. I believe.
it.
Yeah, that's it. Here.
Yeah,
So-
Kumu. Yeah.
So it pulls in all your photos here, and this is the one that I really like. So I select this photo right here. Just you get the dotted frame around it, so you can move it around if you want to. But all I'm going to do is hit the replace button here, and it will bring that in. So it brings it in right in frame. You don't have to do any cropping, any editing. It's ready to go, right? So up here, we've got a DBA logo name. Same type of thing. Hover over it till you see the little yellow box and click on it. You'll get the dotted box around. Then we can go over to our logos. And if you've loaded up your logos, you can just grab one and say, I'm going to use Keller Williams, whatever your market center logo is, right? You can just drop it wherever you want. Here, this is not the correct address. So again, we click on that. We go up to the typewriter and we type in the address, which is listing details here. I'm going to let everybody catch up on this one because you remember we got the photo here, but inside here, there's also all the listing details. So all the text that you need is pretty much right here. So if I highlight all of this up here and come down here and say replace, oh, it's not doing it.
You jinxed it earlier, Robert.
What's that?
You jinxed it. You said something.
I said something and then,
yes.
yeah. All right.
While you're working on that really quickly, I think Tammy and I were talking and working on a project for her. When you're doing your images, make sure that those are images. They don't necessarily have to be professional, but just make sure they're actual images that you took or someone that you took. If you are Google searching something and you're doing like a screenshot, those are not going to be as effective, or they won't be effective in terms of being able to integrate them into Command. You can integrate them for a small picture, but if you're trying to, like for example, this one where it's going to be almost like a background, those images are a little harder to do if they're not something that you created or someone that you know sent you that file. So just be careful of that. I just wanted to give that tip on there or in there.
So it looks like it did work, and then I added it about 3 or 4 more times. So you just kind of have to be ready to delete some stuff that you may or may not need on the picture. So get good at adding and deleting stuff. For sale, 712 Upper Chemo Road, Kula, with the thing. Down here, it is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, but if we look over on our description, it tells you it's 1,712 square foot. So click on the box, go up to the typewriter. It's not 2,200, it's, oh, I guess I'm,
1712.
1712, thank you. And then price, what was it, 1.35?
Yeah, 135. 50, sorry.
You guys get the gist of this. You're just doing this, and built in the year, you want to make sure you have the right, sometimes I don't even put it in there. I'll just put just enough in there. So the idea is get rid of that extra dot. However you want it to appear. So this is just going to be the image that we use for the post. Does that make sense to everybody? So most everything kind of originates in designs. You're going to design it and then you're going to post it. That flow might make sense better. So up here, we want to make sure that we've saved it as something. We'll just name it Latasha. File is saved automatically. I always like to do a file save again. You don't have to. I'm just nervous that way. When I spend a little bit of time, I want to really make sure it's saved, right? So then we can go back. And we should have one in our workspace called Latasha. My designs. Let me get out of this because this is a different view, sorry. There it is, Latasha, right? Everybody sees it. So we've got the design created that we want, and I will spend a day going in and just creating fun designs, just getting used to this. So now we want to start a campaign. Campaign is going to be a social post. And here are some quick posts on the side that you can actually just click on and post. You know, you might set up certain things, you can do that, or you can create a new campaign. I keep getting everybody, there we go. I'll just move that out of the way. Hope you can't see me moving that around. We're gonna create a social post. So now we have the ability to design our library here, right? or to browse our design library. And there's the Latasha one that was just there. We're going to select it. It brings it in as the cover photo. It should. There we go. See the blue lines around it where it's cropping? We don't want it cropped out there. We want to get those two chairs in the shot. We want to get all the bicoastal view, right? So drop this down and make sure the blue line encompasses the entire ad that you created. So in this case, it's a wide. So crop the image, it drops it right in. That's pretty cool beans. I like that. So we've got that part in. It already knows where it's coming from because we set up our Facebook post manager inside of command. And Ann, I know you had a question about that, and I'll ping you after class and we'll get it set up.
Okay.
Here, we have a Keller Williams logo up here. So you can drag and drop your logo here and not have to put that in there. You can just delete it out and it'll drop it either in the right-hand side or the left-hand side of the image. But for this, we already have it up here, so that's okay. And in here, you want to get down to where you can, excuse me, write your post. It was at the top. So here in my notes, talking about the emojis and stuff, I don't put a lot of them in, but you can, and you can put 3 lines of text in. You can see how that starts to pop up. And then what I would do, you could put in another one, a call to action, put your name, your license number, your phone number on there, right? And then Latasha was talking about the hashtags. What I've seen people do is ... You see how that starts, you get the ellipses over here on this side? So it'll keep your statement up at the top of the ad. And then down below this, you'll have those hashtags. So people really don't necessarily need to see your hashtags, but it's kind of a way to keep them a little bit out of view, right? Does that make sense? I think it keeps the ad copy a little uncluttered. Like Latasha said, and like Riley said, there's a whole bunch of different schools of thought around this. So you get to play with it. It's just a post. We're not paying any money for this, right? So, and you can schedule this post out and you can click on a day and choose the day that you want the post to go out. Or you can say, just publish it right now. And this is going to publish to Lucky Live Maui. If you have other pages, you could post it to your page. I'm going to stop. Does anybody have questions on any of this? Did I go too fast? Do you want me to back up, clear up anything?
My question is about the ownership statement.
Okay.
Do you need to include that in every post? And also, do we need to include our name, license number, brokerage in every post as well?
Well, here's the thing. What I've been told by seasoned agents and Michelle Del Rosario is that all posts really, if you're going to post something and it's a template and you're going to continue to use that template, you should send that in to Michelle and just give her a once over on it and let her know that you're planning on posting this over and over. This is going to be a template that you use and it may change, the image may change, but is everything good to go? Is it kosher? Let your principal broker sign off on it, because she's going to be the one that gets drug into any kind of a legal proceeding if there's something wrong on there, right? So short answer, yeah, you do need to put your license number in there because you don't want to portray yourself as a brokerage. So I know it does say Keller Williams Realty Maui, but I mean, it's not as prominent as my Lucky Live Maui, right? So what I did in the little round bug in my Facebook page is if you go in here, it gives you my license number, it gives you the brokerage name, and that in case they go to that Facebook page, all of that information is displayed on that Facebook page. And then I'm also posting the brokerage logo here, and then likely in here I'll put in, well, I guess I have to do it over here. I'll put in my RS 80631. Pretend that those are caps. I'm not going to go back. So I'm a horrible typer. So I sit and do this for hours and I'm still horrible. And then I might, I might sweeten that up a little bit and make it look a little bit better, right? But you get the idea. You want to put your license number in there and you want to put your phone number in there. Shoot it off to Michelle. Just take a copy of this. Everybody knows how to copy the screen or snip the screen. It's different on Windows and different on Mac. But if you have it already in your designs, you can send it to Michelle in Designs. Maybe I should do it.
Yeah, that was my question, Robert, is how to send it over to your to Michelle for approval, because by just snipping that, it's just the image and it also doesn't show all the text because it's, it's shortened.
Right.
So
yeah. It doesn't show the hashtags in this instance, but I don't think that's a compliance issue.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, the idea is the idea is that Michelle wants to be able to approve it, or if there's something glaring that's wrong, like I'm saying Lucky Live Maui real estate, I can't say that. That's, wording that I can't use.
Could I add something on behalf of Michelle? Sorry, Robert.
Sure. Yes, please.
So I would encourage you to also focus on, in terms of the snippet, whether you're doing a snippet for a PC or Mac, if you're hitting Control Alt number 4 to capture that image. I would actually caption the actual post, the writing, and then I would make sure you also download that image, the one that he created, the cover. I would actually download that as well, and then send that to her as well, so she has both of those, just to make it easier for her in terms of approval process. I know I found that that's a lot better for her. She has, more of the actual content, and then separately, the image, in case you're concerned about making sure she sees everything. So that's one tip that may guide you.
I got so nervous about it. I had Keller Williams Realty Maui all over the place, and I actually sent an ad copy off to her, and she got back to me and she goes, Robert, only once is enough. You don't have to put it all over the place. Just once. We just need it once. And I'm like, okay. Well, then I went back and redid it. So.
Okay. And then my other question, Robert, is where it says where to post it on that Facebook, and then you selected Lucky Live Maui. For some reason, on mine it always puts my personal page there. So how can I change it to direct it to the business page?
So inside of Command in Settings, we'll go there real fast. In Settings. Go down into Facebook post scheduling, right? This one is the one that's going to schedule your posts for Facebook. If you look down, there's another Facebook down here where you actually go in and set up your normal account, because they want to know who you are that's placing ads, right? And then up here, just for posts, where are you going to post this? You can click on the manage thing, and then you can either disconnect this here, or maybe it's the other way around. Let me look. Manage.
Yeah, connect it first down there, and then.
Right, you connect it, but it does actually, when you disconnect this one and then reconnect it, it gives you a choice. Do you want to be Lucky Live Maui, or do you want to be your Maui Adventure Waves or a Beautiful Day? All the different pages, it'll come up and you can select which one you want.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought I tried that, but it kept defaulting to the personal page, and I was getting frustrated with it. I didn't know how to change it.
And I know you have a business page. So the only thing that I know of right now is disconnecting it and then reconnecting it. Other than that, we have to send a ticket into support.
Okay, I'll try it again.
All
Thanks.
right. So let me see if I can get back there.
Was that Lavette?
That was Lavette, yeah.
Lavette, can you also check one more thing? When you are in Facebook, and then go over to the right-hand top where you have that drop-down menu where you can select posting as yourself, just make sure really quickly that you have yourself listed, and then you also have an option to post on your business. I just want to check that as well.
Okay, I'll check.
Another quick one down here. Do you have a select pages down here?
Yes, but I remember that, but it does always goes to my personal page.
So there's connect a new Facebook account. You might try connecting your business account here. This is my personal account and it works just fine going to my business page. So yeah, we'll have to dive into that a little bit.
Okay, thank you. I'll look into it.
So once you had everything done, I think it lost everything for me. So once you have everything done, you get to schedule whether you want it to go today, tomorrow, or you can just publish it immediately and it goes straight to your business page and it's posted.
Robert, can you go over just the basics again of how you did that for Lucy? She wanted to just recap really quickly, like the file path to get to that.
File path to get, I'm sorry, help me out.
To the actual post, yeah.
Okay.
To actually be able to do the post.
So if I'm at the home page in Command, I go back into Campaigns. Inside of Campaigns, I want to do a social post. You don't even have to select social post. You can just do create a new campaign and then just do a social post. And that takes you to a place where you're going to post to your business page.
Thank you.
Yeah. I don't know if what I have here is available, but once you start doing paid ads and you get, some water under your belt with the paid ads, if you go back to the dashboard here, you can see what your top performing ads are. The one that had the most leads, the one that had the lowest cost per lead, and the one that was most engaged, right? And it'll tell you that you've got 17 leads and then average lead cost. I mean, that's pretty low when you're talking about leads. $1.36 cost per lead, that's pretty low. And then how many reactions, so just different ads that you can run. These are all set up in designs and then posted, right? So because I don't have any listings and I'm a newer agent, I tend to look for ads or try to post ads out there with things that I can do, like reduced home prices. I can send people to a page at Lucky Live Maui that shows them filtered out all the reduced home prices on Maui. Any guess on how many reduced home prices are on Maui right now?
35.
35. That's okay. That's a good guess. Anybody else?
For today, you mean, or?
Right now, today, how many reduced home prices are there sitting active on Maui? No looking, just guessing. It's a
So
lot.
properties who've lowered their price on the MLS?
Correct, yes.
Okay. 25?
So in your app or on your agent site, you can go and there is a filter there where if you go into more, you can search down and you can collect the reduced home prices and then look at the island of Maui, zoom out and look. There's 367 reduced home prices active on the MLS today. So that's a great bargaining chip for an ad, right? Check out all the reduced home prices on Maui. You're baiting them into, oh, I want to see that. And then you say, click here for more information. And you send them to an ad. So let's get in and do that. I'll show you. Anybody want to see that, or is that not?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
All right. So let's go back to campaigns again. We're going to create a new campaign. This one's going to be a paid ad. Paid ad. And we're going to attract buyers with this one. And right now we're just going to do Facebook. I've done Facebook and Instagram, but right now I'm playing with Facebook because I'm getting better leads from Facebook. Set up campaign. Name the campaign, TEST 555. Of course I wouldn't name it that, but just so you don't get to see me, walk and trip at the same time. So So we're not going to put a listing on this one. We could use that listing that we just did, Mitch Tempos, and put that in here and do the ad copy in here. But for right now, we're going to go name and goal. We did that, save name and goal. Facebook ad media right here, ad media. I'm going to, you saw what we did in designs, and you're able to do that, right? Add images from design library. These are just different ad copies. It's not bringing up everything that I normally. Okay, we'll use that one. Something I created in designs. It was just a Facebook ad, right? Or a Facebook image. So here is good. We're going to preview and crop this. And this one was a square. So save image. This was just a cutout. This would be a design that I created that says up in the corner up here, look at all the reduced home prices on Maui, right? And then I would enter that text here, check out all the reduced home prices on Maui, hundreds of home prices reduced, throw a couple emojis in there, right? And then down here, I would go to configure the ad. Call to action button. Well, let me go back up. I'm sorry, I'm moving around a little too fast for myself right now. Main copy. Should be a capital M, I know that. So enter headline. This is going to be the one down here. Click here to see all the, screwed that up, yep. Reduced home prices. I just leave it simple like that. Click her, not her, here. And description here, click here to learn more. And then here's normally where I'll put in my emojis, and I'll just do kind of like maybe a finger pointing over that way to highlight that button. You know what I mean? Click here to learn more. And you could actually put a little bit more in here. You could put CHUNDRE, hundreds of reduced home. Something like that. And then maybe I change that finger pointing to down instead of over, right? But keep it short, keep it sweet, because what we're doing is we're trying to tell people that we've got information for them. And if they share their information with me, I'll send them straight to the place that I promised I would send them. Does that make sense? So you don't want to give it away here. You don't want to put your links to all of your information here. What you're trying to do is tease them into, it's almost like a tit for tat game. If you give me just your name, phone number, and email address, I'll send you all the information that you want. And in fact, I'll call you because I'm going to follow up with you. Makes sense?
So then, yeah. So then, Robert, do you need them to create a landing page for where all the reduced home prices are then?
I do something even easier than that, Lavette. So what I do is I go to my KW agent site. So I'm going to do that in the next tab here. So if we go down here, it's going to say learn more. And where do you go when you click the learn more button? So you don't do any more here other than, you know, pretty it up and put your copy in. And then here, brokerage logo, there's a logo on there. So you know how we have to play with that, right? You send it off to Michelle. Facebook ad, click learn more. So down here is, you can choose a landing page if you want to spend the time to create the landing page, or you can just go up here and I'm like, okay, well, what's the URL? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here, click a new tab, go to Lucky Live Maui. That's so I'm at Find Your Dream Home. So right now I'm going to just say, look at my current location. I just want to get the map, right? So now I'm in the map and it's zooming in. What I want is I want it to zoom out. But first, what I want to do is I want to see all the reduced home prices. So if we go back out, see how when you get back out, it starts to give you this bar at the top and there's a more button. Everybody sees the more button. If you click on the more button and you scroll down, reduced home prices last 7 days or within the last 7 days. So now that's what all this is looking for. And you see all the reduced home prices, right? And then you back away again, center them. Oh, it wants to do that. Center the map. And then here, 300, I was wrong. There's only 355. So a few of them are sold. Or they dropped out of the 7 day range, right? So, but this link up here is what I copy. And then I go back to that other tab, which means I have to move this little thing around. I go back here and I drop in that destination, back that out because it's going to have it, and drop it in right there. So if you go back, that will be the zoom level. You can see that zoom equals 10 at the end, and it goes all the way back. And when they click the learn more, they're going to be sent to Lucky Live Maui with that search in place, all the reduced home prices. So I promised I was going to send them that, and I had them click more. They gave me their name, address, and phone number, and I've sent them to this landing page. At that point, our deal's done, and then it's on me to follow up with them.
Can I validate you? That's huge. So if you've been doing a variation of that, that's totally fine. But I mean, this is huge. I mean, that's a golden nugget from Robert, because the more user-friendly that you could make it to your end user, where they're just going exactly to where they need to go, what they need to see, that's like an ace feather in your cap. So that's huge to do that.
This is a paid ad, and you can send it anywhere in the US. So another tidbit is you could go into the referrals, or maybe you know people in Southern California. Sorry, I've got a plane coming overhead. More of that lately, more planes. Send it to an area, target the area about 20 miles around. And then the other thing that I like to do, and I don't know that we talk about it very much, is add or change interests. Spend some time in this add or change interest bucket, because I always joke with people and say, well, if they're on Facebook and they're looking for cream cheese, they're going to see my ad. So it's not really that way. But if you look at all these different all these different audiences, you can choose these audiences. So let's say automobiles, audience size. Look at this audience size just for automobiles. Maybe somebody wants to buy a car on Maui. I mean, you have to think about it in an abstract way. But banking, select, I would pick 40 of these. Pick 40 of them that make sense to you. You get down toward the bottom and I'll show you ones that you definitely want to pick. Zillow, Realtor.com. Come back up to the T's. I think Trulia's in here. Yeah, Trulia's in here. Pick those and then go on and pick 36 more. vacation rentals, used car. I mean, whatever makes sense. It's, you know, in an abstract way sometimes. Save all those. Make sure that this is an or up here. Don't say and, because then all of those things will have to be true. You say this or that or that or that. Any one of those can be true, and they will be given your ad. Does that make sense to you guys?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes. But Robert, can this be, does it have to be a social, a paid ad? Can you do this as a post?
This is only because this is targeting, so it's only for ads, only for paid ads.
Okay.
Yeah. So the way that you would target with a social post would be more along the lines of hashtagging.
Mhm. No, I mean, but like the information that we provided, like, you know, see the reduced prices here in the last 7 days. Could that be a post?
That, you know, that could be a post, but you have to think about it in this way. You're going to, if you do a post, you have to do the link in the post. So you're not really getting, you're not getting a lead gen at that point. So the only way to get the lead gen piece to play in the middle of that would be to do a paid ad.
Put a paid ad. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
So that's a difference between a posting and a paid ad, is that you don't get the leads.
Right. Well, the paid ad, I've seen a lot of people put paid ads out there and they're not generating any leads. And I'm like, well, why aren't you just doing posts then? Why are you paying for the ads? The whole point of Facebook ads is either brand awareness. And the other thing in my mind is to get leads.
Okay.
I jump in really quick, Lavette, to your point. I think the more that, you know, I'm not sure how engaged you are on your socials, but the more engaged you are, once you begin to have those paid ads and you start seeing some success, then you can intermittently do just general posts. And depending on your following, you could also get those leads. But again, it goes back to consistency in terms of how often are you posting to Facebook, and the more frequently you do it, you can intermittently do the post to get that. But again, going back to validating what Robert's saying, you want to definitely start with the paid ads, and then you can sprinkle those posts and be consistent in getting lead generation just from your posts.
I have seen people do the posts, Lavette, where they'll say they'll tease the reduced home prices kind of thing, just for an example. And then down below, they'll say, message us for more information. And at that point, it's an incoming kind of cold call situation, but at least it happens on Messenger. So it's text first. You don't really get their phone number on Messenger that way, but it is a route. It is a way to do it.
Okay, no, that's helpful. Thanks.
Yeah.
We're running out. We've actually expired our time. Robert, is there any additional things you want to capitalize on, or any highlights before we do Q&A? Because we're over our time. So I just want to be conscious of people's time to see if there's one more thing you want to make sure you reiterate to them. We can also do a part 3 if there's interest, but I just want to be conscious of time.
Yeah, I think right now it'd be best if anybody has questions to move through. I don't really have anything else to share. I do think this ad does bring leads in, though. I've done it 3 times and it worked pretty well.
I have a question about the difference between putting an ad like that and then in previous page, while you were creating the ad, it had a second tab that said video. Is that one or the other? Like, what's the, how effective is it to put a video instead of static?
Well, if you're doing a post and you're trying to promo a property or a listing of yours, I think it's highly effective to put a video in there, because you're trying to drive traffic back to you. If you're doing a paid ad, I would try and capture their information and then send them that information after you capture it. Okay.
And in the video, I've created videos on YouTube. So I have a YouTube channel.
That's perfect.
To copy the URL from the YouTube channel and put that.
Absolutely. Yeah, that is the preferred way to do it.
So can you just real quick show me how to do that?
Yeah. So if you're creating,
I went to the YouTube and have a channel there with my name, Aisha McClung, and then I just don't know how to take these videos and put them in through command right here in that Facebook page.
Okay, I'm getting buzzed that we're over time. So should we put another we should put another video together for that, or I can take it offline. If you take my number down, you can give me a call and I can walk through it. And then if that's something that you guys really want to learn or would like to look at, I'm happy to do another class on that.
It would be fantastic if it could, if you can, please.
I
Thank you.
can for sure. Yeah, love to.
So
Yes,
let's
so
do
Robert, what's
both
your
of those.
number? I'll just call you right after the call.
Please. Yep, that's fine.
I'll put his number in the chat.
Yeah, thanks.
So I
So-
think we should do 2 parts. Should we do a 3-part talking
think
about
so.
more of the links, and then you can have and I'll put your message in there too.
And I think you guys have noticed the difference between Latasha and myself. I kind of fly from the seat of my pants. I'm a little off the cuff. And Latasha is very structured, very organized. If you haven't noticed that yet, it's kind of the way it works. I'm trying to get more structured and organized, but I don't think I'll ever reach Latasha level.
I was a teacher before.
Yeah.
Progress, not perfection, Robert.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Very appreciative of both of you for helping us out.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Thank you. Thank you.
Definitely.
And I'm sorry, I don't know, I totally spaced it. I thought it was at 11 and I've been sitting here in the conference room all this time.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, yeah, so is it recorded?
Yes, it is recorded.
Yeah.
Okay, so we will. Any other questions? I'm sorry, somebody was going to say something. So
To
sorry.
get the recording, is that just we go to Facebook to do that, or you send them out?
So I send them out. So I sent it out before, but what I'm going to do is once this is done, I will add it and it will have the previous handout and the previous recording part 1. And then we will have
Oh,
part
good.
2 added with the slides. And then I will, oops, hold on. I will get Robert's cell phone again. So sorry, I sent it to a personal
That's
image.
all
but
right.
yeah.
Did you guys
Sorry.
ever find out if someone could hire either of you to do this for us?
I'm waiting on Lisa to respond, but I haven't forgot.
Yeah.
Because I think it would take me like 15 hours and you guys could do it in an hour.
Hey, I do know that there is an agent right now that is working outside and is providing consulting for large teams. And you may know him by the name of Daniel Rood.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, you might touch base with him. He is doing consulting for streamlining businesses and setting up. So I don't know what any more than that. I just talked to him the other day. So.
Yeah, but I hope I should have follow-up from Lisa. It is on my list of things. We just haven't had time to circle back with her, but I do have that in terms of can we put that out there that we are for hire, if you will. But I put Robert's cell phone in the chat and we will have a part 3. So I'll get with Robert in terms of the timing and then I'll send out all of the recordings by tomorrow.